Hi, it's Eva Cartman, and you're listening to the Dream Big Podcast Show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. Today we welcome award-winning film and TV producer DeVon Franklin. If you like TV and movies, and I know you do, then you'll love learning about DeVon's journey to becoming an ultra-successful producer in Hollywood. This is episode 96, Big Dreamers. You ready? It's time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. I am your host, Steva Cartman. And today, I'd like to start by telling you about a special gift we have for all you big dreamers. We created a super cool Dream Big journal that we want to ship to you. And get this, the front of the journal has an illustration of an astronaut in outer space. What is so amazing is that the journal is printed and personalized with your own face and name. So you'll see your face on the cover of this journal as an astronaut. Oh, and it's free. We just have you cover the shipping. Parents, please go to dreambigpodcast.com/journal to claim your free, personalized Dream Big journal while this offer is still available. You'll see a video of my mom and I showing our journals. Go to dreambigpodcast.com/journal to get your free journal. Also, I wanted to thank you all for your amazing reviews on iTunes. We read each and every one of them, and we love knowing that you are enjoying the podcast as we pour our heart and soul into each of these episodes. Please do take a minute to leave a review if you're getting value from the podcast. We appreciate it. Now, it's time for you all to enjoy our interview with DeVon Franklin. DeVon is a New York Times bestselling author, spiritual success coach, and the CEO of Franklin Entertainment, a production company in conjunction with 20th Century Fox. He's the producer of the box office hit Miracles from Heaven and the most recent release, The Star, for Sony Pictures Animation. Variety named DeVon one of the top 10 producers to watch. And he's Dr. Oz's go-to guy for spiritual success coaching on the Dr. Oz Show, as well as the co-host of the TLC event series, This Is Life Live. As always, we have show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/96, where we will include links to DeVon's website and everything we discussed in the interview. Without further ado, here's our interview with DeVon. Let's roll the tape. Hi, DeVon.
Hi, Eva. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. So grateful to be talking with you.
Thank you. We are so excited to do this show.
We are very, very happy because I think it's one of our first time having that big of a name from Hollywood. You are a Hollywood producer, and we're excited to talk to you about your career, but as well about how you got to that point where you are today.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I got started, back when I was really a kid. I was, always had the dream of being in Hollywood. I always had a dream of running my own production company. And, I always feel like entertainment is a vehicle for change, and entertainment can change people's lives in a positive way. And so I really wanted to be a part of the industry to do that. And so I got my start at 18 years old. I went to USC, University of Southern California. I majored in business. I minored in film. But I also got an internship, and I started interning for a guy named Will Smith. And you may have heard of him.
Yeah.
And, Will Smith, obviously one of the biggest names in the world, one of the biggest movie stars in Hollywood. I started working as an intern at the company that managed him at 18 years old. And that is what got my foot in the door. And, that basically was me, running and getting coffee and copying scripts and doing files. It was very, kind of just entry level work. but that laid the foundation for my success. And I've been in Hollywood now for about 22 years and now run my own company and produce my own films. But it all started with an internship when I was 18 years old because I knew what I wanted to do, and I started working on it at a very early age. Similar to you, Eva, you're working on it.
Yeah. DeVon, do you have any like advice for our younger big dreamers on how to like get maybe to Hollywood or even like be working with one of those big names?
You just mentioned internship, right? And I don't think
Yes.
we ever talked about internship on the show
Yeah.
in that
Yes.
aspect. So maybe you can elaborate on that.
Definitely. An internship is basically, most companies across all industries usually offer an internship. And an internship is usually geared towards students that are looking for experience in a particular field of their interest. And so most companies, here at my company, Franklin Entertainment, I have a number of interns that we get from various universities because internships give people an opportunity, especially students, an opportunity to learn an industry, to learn how it all works. And it's a great way to supplement what you learn academically with getting knowledge practically. And so an internship is a really important step. And so I would say to all the big dreamers out there, whatever field you're interested in, begin to think about, as you get older, finding an internship that can help you get experience in the area that you want to be in. Because sometimes you may think you want to do something. You may say, hey, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a business owner. But you may not know if you really want to do it until you get experience with it. And in my experience, getting an internship is a fantastic way to begin to find a path in a career and success for allowing your dream to come true.
Yeah, and in one of your videos, you mentioned that like there was sometimes you get a career, but you're not exactly like deep down, you're not exactly happy with that career. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yes, sometimes in my experience, you're pursuing a career and you think this is what you want to do, or sometimes you're pursuing it because it's what your parents wanted you to do, but it's not really what's in your heart. And my definition of success is peace. Do I have peace when I wake up in the morning? Do I have peace when I look in the mirror? Do I have peace when I go to bed? That to me is the definition of success. And sometimes when we pursue a career or we pursue a lifestyle that isn't really what we want to do, we rob ourselves of the real peace that comes along with living in our purpose. And so I'm a strong advocate for anyone, no matter where you are, what walk of life you're in, to do a self-analysis, do a spirit check. Am I at peace? Am I content? Am I happy? And if I'm not, what is the root of my unhappiness? And whatever the root is, begin to address it. And sometimes what I have found in the people that I've counseled and the people that I've coached is that a lot of times that unhappiness comes because they aren't doing what they were called to do. They aren't really listening to what they hear in their spirit. So I am a strong proponent of reorienting your life in order to find that peace, because when you find it, it is more valuable than money or any possession you could ever have.
It's like a Dream Big podcast. Eva came up with this idea when she was about 6.5, almost 7 years old. And she said, well, if no one no kids interviewing adults on how to be successful, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And she found her calling. We don't know how it's going to shape her life later, but definitely from all of these interviews, she learns a lot for herself and sharing it with the audience,
Yeah.
right, Eva?
Yeah, it's like some people they would say if they like saw that no kids were interviewing adults, they would say, oh, someone else will do it. I'm just gonna stick to this, or I'm gonna stick to whatever I'm doing. But like you need to get like out of your comfort zone, get into harder spot, not the easier way.
And
You got
what,
that right.
yeah, and if you are passionate about something, explore that area a little bit more. Because DeVon, that got you to be not only producer. Can you actually name few movies that you were involved? So
Yes.
our listeners, I'm sure they watched a few of them and they know the names.
Yeah.
Yes. When I was a studio executive, I've worked on every movie from Pursuit of Happiness to 21 to the Karate Kid remake to Hancock to the Annie remake to Heaven is for Real. You see this poster back here, Heaven is for Real. I also have produced the movie Miracles from Heaven with Jennifer Garner and Queen Latifah. I've also produced the movie The Star, the animated film The Star, which came out in theaters last Christmas. And I just produced a new movie called Breakthrough with Chrissy Metz, who is the star of NBC's This Is Us. So those are some of the movies that I have had the privilege and the pleasure to be able to work on during my career in Hollywood.
That's very interesting. It's all talking about the passion that you have for what you do.
Yes.
And we learned that in your career, you made the switch. You just mentioned that you were a successful producer, right, Eva? With Sony Production, correct?
Yes, Sony Pictures Entertainment, yes.
Yes, and you did mention in one of your talks, and by the way, we will include all the links in our show notes. Eva, what happened? Remember DeVon was talking about success, and what happened?
Yeah, so when you said peace, that what your definition of success was peace, and that you heard that little
Yes.
that little alarm clock inside
Yes.
yourself, and you said to yourself, I've got to switch.
Yeah.
And after one
absolutely.
of your
Big movies.
big movies, you said, I'm going to quit, and you quit.
Yes, I did. It was after this movie, Heaven is for Real. In the first 5 days, this movie made almost $30 million. And I was the executive that oversaw that film. And we made the film for $15 million. And 2 days after that movie opened, I went into the chairman of Sony's office. At the time, it was Amy Pascal. She was the big boss and the boss that I reported to. And I went into her office and said, you know what? I quit. I said, I felt that alarm in my spirit. I felt that it was time to start my own company. I felt that it was time to branch out. And I went in and I said, it's time for me to leave. It's time for me to start Franklin Entertainment. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I can't keep creating value for the company that I can't participate in. And I feel like now is the time for me to start my own company. And I said, not only do I want to start the company, but I want you to fund it. And she, looked at me and then she said, yes, I'll do it. And that was the beginning of the company that I run now. But it all came, Eva, you're so right. It all came from me listening to my spirit, hearing that alarm. You know what? Now's the time to make a move. Don't just be in fear of just keeping things status quo. And by listening to that alarm and by stepping out in faith, it's allowed me not only to dream big, but to live in those big dreams.
Yeah, and that's the whole reason why we named the Dream Big Podcast, Dream Big Podcast. And for our big dreamers, the way to, here's an example for big dreamers, how to get out of your comfort zone. So let's say there's this person who sits on the couch all day watching TV, eating Cheetos or donuts or whatever they're eating, and they see somebody on TV who's doing something really amazing and going to work every day and after work working out and stuff, and that person who's watching the TV sitting on their couch and eating Cheetos. And what they should be thinking is, wow, I want to be like that person. I need to get off this couch. But what they should not be thinking is, oh, that's cool, they're doing it, neat. I'm just gonna stay here and eat Cheetos because it's the easier way.
Mm.
And a lot of times we push that snooze button until better times, right?
Yeah, it's for kids waking up at school, the timer's going, I don't want to go to school. timer's going on. I don't want to go to school. They press the snooze button. They don't go to school. They miss things in school.
So I think the most important lesson is here for our younger audience that you should not wait until better times, or, sometimes kids think, oh, maybe when I'm 18, I'll start working my big dreams because I'm quote unquote adult and I have an adult life.
Yeah, like now I'm fully an adult. I don't have to do it before 18.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. My uncle has a saying that he used to say to us all the time when I was growing up, and I really believe in it. What you will be, you are now becoming. What you will be, you are now becoming. So too often we say, oh, when I get older, I'll do this. But for now, I won't clean up my room. I won't do the chores. I won't do my homework on time. But I still want to be a doctor or a lawyer. I want to be a politician, whatever the goal may be or the dream may be. It doesn't work that way. What we all will ultimately be, we're becoming that right now. And so it's so important in the examples that you all are laying out is that, we not only have to dream big, but we have to commit ourselves to discipline and doing the things that we need to do now. So, when I was, even your age, my mother, she was, and I'm a middle child of 3 boys. So my older brother's about 3 years older than me. My younger brother's 3 years younger than me. But when we were, your age, it wasn't just about doing good in school, which she made sure that we did, but we also had to do chores. We had to, mop the floor. We had to wash our clothes. We had to iron our clothes. We had to clean our bed. All those things were important. And so I love to tell young people that, if your parents ask you to do something, do it. Do it and don't delay and don't, give them grief. Do it, because when you do what they ask you to do, specifically in this area of taking care of home, it really builds in you the building blocks and the foundation to be successful one day in your life.
It's so true, because it's learning how to be responsible for things.
That's right.
And
That's
when
right.
you're pursuing your dreams, you have to be responsible for what you're doing. It's about repeating sometimes the things that you don't like over and over again, but that takes you somewhere, right?
And you've got to do it.
Yeah. If parents asking you to set up table for dinner, you know that the reward will be yummy dinner on the table.
Yeah. Like one of our guests, Kenya, she grew up in Kenya, and the girls there had no access to education. And now she built a school for girls where they can learn loads of things. And another of our guests that we interviewed recently, his name is Eric, and he was blind at a young age, and he went on to summit Mount Everest.
Yes.
Wow.
And none of these things stopped them. And we also learned, DeVon, from your stories that you just mentioned about your siblings and your mom. And as far as we know, you were raised by a single mom, right? And you faced a lot of challenges. And she obviously faced a lot of challenges, but they did not stop you being who you are today.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
What would you say to younger audience, to maybe our big dreamers about the personal story about?
And also, can you share how did you feel about having other brothers, like 2 other brothers in the family? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, my father passed away when I was 9 years old. He was 36 years old. He had a heart attack, and so it was. It was difficult. It was hard on me. It was hard on my brothers. It was hard on my mom. But what really helped us was, my mother. She was, always there, and definitely, we all kind of supported one another. And my grandmother has 7 sisters, so my great aunts and my grandmother really helped my mother out to make sure that my brothers and I really had a strong support system that could help us navigate losing our dad. And so I would say to any of the big dreamers out there that are struggling in your life, or you've had loss, like I experienced loss, you can make it through it. You can make it through it. And your life can still go on, even though you had to deal with some very difficult things at a young age. And, it was not easy, but, having brothers really helped a lot because we all went through the same thing. And even in the times we might fight or, have disagreements, we ultimately still love one another. And we really felt the love of our family, which helped us become the men that we are today. So I would encourage any big dreamer out there to, one, my prayers are with you if you've been through a tragic loss. And two, I know from experience, you absolutely can make it through.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we hope that stories like yours inspire loads of our young listeners who are listening and facing challenges, like you said, that they can push through, they can overcome those obstacles.
Amen. Yes, definitely.
Thank you for sharing. Yes, that's a beautiful story, because we never know what our life will throw at us. But the most important thing, as you mentioned, DeVon, is to be strong, is to keep going and surround yourself with people that support you and love you.
Yeah, and life throws you loads of lemons. You got to make lemonade out of them.
That's true. And it's like making your own movie, I should say, right? Creating your own movie.
Yes.
You even mentioned once, stay in your own movie.
Yeah. You've got to be in your own movie, stay in your own scene.
Yeah. Yes. And create what you want out of it, correct?
Yes. In yes, I believe you should, one way to find success and to stay motivated is to look at your life as a movie. And sometimes we're looking at other people's movies saying, oh, I wish that was happening and I wish I had their success. And that's why I say stay in your own movie, because you're over here looking at someone else's movie. And one, when you do that, you miss what's happening in your own movie. And two, you don't know what's going to happen in that person's life. So you're looking and saying, oh, I wish I could have that, having no idea what the next scene is going to be. And then that next scene, you may say, hey, I'm sorry, I actually don't want their movie. So I encourage everyone to stay in their own film and to find the beauty of the movie that's being made in you, the beauty of the movie that's being made in me. And when I do that, I become more appreciative of who I am. You are the hero of your movie. You are the star. And every great movie is great because of the conflict. There's no movie that you like that doesn't have conflict, because the conflict is what makes it interesting. The conflict is what brings the hero in us out. So I love that concept, and I love to talk about the concept of looking at your life as a movie, because I believe it can really help us become the success we're created to be.
Yeah, it's like wanting to copy off somebody else's test at school. Like, I want to go grade. But then what if the person next to you doesn't get a good grade? What if they failed all the questions? Then you fail too.
Right.
It's best to go through your own experience in life, right?
Yeah.
And learn, and of course, to learn from your mentors. DeVon, did you have any good mentors? And maybe you can share about a couple of them. What are the best advice they were giving you when you faced difficult times in your life?
Yes. Will Smith is one of my mentors, and one of the things that he has taught me is that, it's not just about working hard, because so many people work hard. It's about working long. Can you work hard and can you work long? Can you commit to the process of success, no matter how long it takes? And I really believe that. I live by that. As I mentioned earlier, I've been in Hollywood for 22 years. And it took me just about 20 years to be able to start my dream, which is my company. So, it does take time. And I did learn that. And it's so important. One of my aunts, my Aunt Donna, she's one of my other mentors, and she taught me, don't burn a bridge, because you never know when you may have to cross it. And what that means is, manage relationships. Even when you have to leave a job or, you don't like someone, still handle it in care and kindness and consideration, because you never know. Things are, businesses are so small, industries are so small. If you are disrespectful to somebody, anger, you can actually miss it. And you could miss an opportunity that you may need to have a bridge for. So those are some of the things that I've learned from the mentors in my life. And I'm a big proponent of mentorship. It's very, very essential to help us navigate our careers and our lives successfully.
That's a great advice. Thank you.
And DeVon, I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions.
Yes.
And so
we call them rapid fire questions. So
rapid
she'll be
fire.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next for you?
What's next for me? I have a movie called Breakthrough. It's a true story of a mother who prayed her son back to life after he drowned in an accident on a frozen lake.
Wow.
And that movie will be out for Easter of next year. It stars Chrissy Metz, Topher Grace, Josh Lucas, Mike Coulter, Dennis Haysbert, and Sam Trammell, and Marcel Ruiz from One Day at a Time on Netflix.
Great.
Yeah.
What do you think has been your greatest achievement so far?
Oh, wow. So far, oh my goodness. Getting married. That's my greatest achievement.
Yay! Do you have kids?
Not yet. We're waiting a few more.
Awesome. God bless you guys.
Bless you. Thank you.
When you have doubted yourself in the past, what made you overcome those fears and continue to pursue your dream?
What made me overcome my fears in those moments was remembering that, everything that I aspired to do was going to happen in steps. And sometimes when I was, the most fearful or the greatest in doubt, it was because I was trying to do too much too soon. And so in those moments, I just had to, get my composure back and just say, you know what, take it one step at a time. Just keep showing up, keep doing the work, and the things that are supposed to happen will happen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
What trait do you have that has enabled you to take your big dreams and make them a reality?
Really a commitment to serving well. I think service has really been the key to my success because, wherever I am, whether being an intern, being an executive, now being a producer and author and motivational speaker, it's all about service. And I think that trait and focusing on that trait is what has allowed me to, live my big dream, so to speak, because it's either servicing my boss or servicing the audience or servicing the person, but it's about service, and service is the key to unlock not only my dream, but anyone's dream.
And you mentioned internship, and I just thought that would be very, very helpful if you break down, DeVon, few steps for those who would like to apply for internship. What should one do if they want to be intern in Hollywood?
Yes. If you want to be an intern in Hollywood specifically, I would reach out to the human resource department of every studio, Fox, Disney, Sony, Paramount, because they are the facilitators of the internship program.
Awesome.
Also, if you do just a little bit of research online, a lot of production companies like myself have internship programs, and usually online you can find out more information about those programs. I would also suggest that the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences has a summer internship program called the Gold Program, which is fantastic. And I would encourage anyone looking to get into entertainment to investigate and to apply for the Gold internship program through the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences.
Thank you.
And we might have asked this question during the interview, but one more time for our big dreamers. What's your big dream for the future?
For the big dreamers out there, my big dream for the future is to continue to, inspire people, because I believe inspiration is so powerful. I believe one moment of inspiration can change our lives forever. So my big dream is to continue to grow and, being able to inspire and motivate the masses through one individual at a time to help hopefully motivate them to live out not only their dreams, but their destiny and their calling. That's my big dream, is to continue to do that and find new and innovative ways to do it and to grow the audience by which I do that.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you for the whole interview, but we have one more last question before we end the interview.
Okay, great.
Very important. You ready? Are you ready?
Okay. Where can our audience find out more about you?
We tricked you.
You did. Your audience, the big dreamers, can find more out about me on DeVonFranklin.com, www.DeVonFranklin.com. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at DeVon Franklin. Those would be the best places to find more information out about everything we talked about.
And of course, look out for the movie that's coming
Yeah.
up. And we will include all the links in our show notes. So Big Dreamers, you know where to find it on dreambigpodcast.com. And we will include links to amazing talks that DeVon did. And you will get inspired, I promise you.
Yeah, and I know I said that was the very last question, but this is going to be my very, very last question. So,
She doesn't want to let you go. You're so
I like it.
interesting.
so my question is there any questions you want us to ask?
Anything else left?
Anything else left that you want to share with our
Oh,
big dreamers?
wow. Well, what's your big dream? Ava, what's yours?
Well, I have a lot of big dreams, but I say my top big dream is to get this podcast to have. Wait, how many did I say before? How many?
You said you once mentioned 100 million people to change lives of 100 million people through this podcast.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Is that? That's what you said. I don't know. Maybe it
Those
changed.
are
You know,
my
dreams
6
tend to change
Oh,
over time.
I love it. Well, hey, you know what? You're a big dreamer. So I do believe that dream can and will come true if that's what you want.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
DeVon. It was such a pleasure. And for big dreamers out there, remember, your childhood story doesn't have to define who you are, who you're going to be. Remember, you're creating your own movie. Remember that hard work and commitment and a long period of time working on one task will get you far. And as we heard from DeVon's story, it can, your dreams will come a reality. Remember, whenever you are, whatever you're doing, being of service to others. And if your
Yeah.
dream to be in Hollywood or being a scientist, being a psychologist or whoever, astronaut,
Yeah,
you can
and-
always apply for internship.
Yeah, and also remember to get out of your comfort zone. Don't stay in like those people on the couch that are eating Cheetos.
Yeah, Cheetos may be good once in a while, but if you
Yeah.
have a dream, you better get up and going. Like I will tell a little bit of behind the scenes today. Today we actually filming this podcast, not only recording on audio as we usually do, but filming. And this is Eva's probably second time doing it. So she was
Oh,
quickly
Eva.
saying, "Okay, sure, I'll do it." And we usually do it either in person, but like this on Skype, and doing it kind of from the distance. It's probably like second time. So DeVon, thank you so much for allowing us to go out of our comfort zone in such a natural and easy way. And for
Yeah.
big dreamers out there, we will include link to our YouTube channel that we probably, Eva, would you like to do more of these video interviews now?
Sure.
How was it? How was your
It was
experience?
amazing.
Thank you, DeVon, for being a part of it. We love you. Big
Well-
hugs, and maybe we'll grab ice cream with you. We live apparently not that far from each other. Maybe one day.
Yes. I would love it. It would be great to see you all in person and even meet you in person. So yes, if you guys are in the Century City area or over near the 20th Century Fox lot, come on by and we'll grab some ice cream.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
again.
Bye.
Bye.
God bless.
Every so often, we score a guest on the Dream Big podcast who has so much positive energy and wisdom to share that we know we have a special episode on our hands as soon as we finish recording. That was definitely how we felt with this episode with DeVon, and we hope you enjoyed the discussion as much as we did. Be sure to check out our show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/96 for links to DeVon's website and everything else we discussed in the episode. When you go to the show notes, you'll see a place to sign up for our Insider newsletter, where we send exclusive content, including a free audio that I made on my top 10 tips for making and keeping great friends. This audio is only available for those who subscribe, and I know this will really help you, so please be sure to have your parents join the newsletter to get it. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional, you need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. live with passion, the way life is meant to be. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!